Okay. Hi. Hello, London's calling. It's good to be back again. I hope you had a good day. I certainly have. My name's Lee Palmer. I'm a Salesforce functional consultant from Capgemini, which means I'm all about that clicks, not code lifestyle. I love being a consultant. I love the change in pace. I love working with Salesforce. And I also really love productivity tools too. And that's going to be the nature of this talk. It's a 10-minute talk, so I might have time for kind of one question at the end. Please do reach out to me on the app. It's a 10-minute talk, about the average time of your morning stand-up, but hopefully this will be a little bit useful. Sorry, Scrum Masters. To address the AI in the room, obviously ChatGPT, Einstein GPT, Slack GPT. That doesn't feature in this talk, unfortunately. Yes, you can automate a 20-minute task, but then you spend 2 hours talking about it on LinkedIn. So it's not quite my cup of tea just yet. That being said, I'm going to have to take you away from the conference and back to your kind of day jobs, because we're going to be answering some emails from your boss. These emails from your boss are going to be handled a little bit easier by some of the tools that I'm going to present. Hopefully there's a little bit for everyone. So the tools themselves, they're on GIFs, and there is a summary slide at the end, so you'll feel free to take any photos throughout, if you send them to me. Thank you, Ashwin. Feel free to take any photos. There's a summary slide at the end with a QR code, and I'll also put a link to that into the chat as well, so you should have everything you need if you want it. Okay, that being said, let's look at the first case. So hey, I've got some good news. Since you're so good at flows, I want you to train the rest of the team. The even better news is that this session is tomorrow. Show them how best to go with the flow. So what we're taking from this situation is that we want to look at and find some Salesforce documentation really quickly. So yes, you can Google, but you get a little bit of noise with that. So what I use is searchtheforce.com. This is an open website, and what it is it's a Salesforce curated results. So it's just a list. It's a search engine that's powered by Google. However, every single result has been whitelisted to say, yes, this is Salesforce. So you get really good things. You get really good sources of truth, such as Salesforce Ben and Automation Champion. And then if you were to search for flow best practice, you don't get anything like Microsoft Dynamics or any other inferior products come up in your search. That GIF's struggling a little bit. It's not struggling on that screen. That screen's great. So that's searchtheforce.com. It's a Salesforce-specific search engine. Up next, we did it. We closed the Yellow Pages Scranton deal. Update all of their opportunities to closed one. So there's a lot of different ways you can interpret this. What we're taking this to mean is that you've got a large number of records to update directly through the UI. That's this kind of scenario. The way we're going to be doing this is using a Google Chrome extension called Link Clump. This is one of my favorite tools. What you can do with this, you go into the related list, you drag a box over all of the hyperlinks that you want to open, and towards the top you can see it opens all of those in an individual tab. Really useful. Your Chrome browser's not going to thank you, but it's really useful for you. Using this in this way is only scratching the surface of this tool. You can bookmark using this, and you can also add custom actions as well. But I think the major selling point is dragging a box over a list of hyperlinks. There's a hotkey that you do it as well as click and drag, and then it opens them all in individual Chrome tabs. This isn't specific to Salesforce. I think it works really, really well with Salesforce. The Lightning UI sometimes trips it up, to be fair. It was a kind of 100% effective in Classic. But it's also really good for opening things like Jira tickets or Azure DevOps, because you can just say, actually, look at all the defects I've got, and open them all up in an individual tab. So it's really useful in that way too. So that is Link Clump. Wednesday, please take a screenshot of the Yellow Pages Scranton account, chatter and all. I want to frame it and put it above my desk. Who am I to question the sales team's methods? But what we're going to do, we need to capture a full screen page, and out of the box screenshot tools, yes, you can get a box. However, this one, you need scrolling down. You can take several, or you can use Go Full Page. Again, it's a Chrome extension, but what it does is it's a button in the top right, and it automatically moves down the page and combines that into a single screenshot. From there, you can copy and paste, which means you can copy and paste into Teams, Slack, the Jira chatter, the Jira comment box, Jira description, anywhere where you want to paste an image, but you can also save it and download it as an attachment too. I think you can do PDF and image files as well. So it's up to you how you do it. The one thing I will say is, as you can see a little bit, if you scroll down the image, sometimes if you have the Salesforce default background, that's a little bit jarring. It can be a little bit disjointed, and sometimes it's confused by the setup menu. But overall, it's a really good function. Again, it's not actually specific to Salesforce. If you want to send a Jira ticket or an Azure DevOps ticket or something like that, again, copy and paste it to say, just to make sure you're talking about this user story, Jira ticket, scroll down, copy and paste, and you're done. Up next, we've got customers getting spammed by emails. Check if the hidden confirmation email sent is filled in. It's not on the page layout, so use the force powder one. Live long and prosper. He's mixing franchises here, but I'm not going to correct him. Just by me saying it's not on the page layout, I'm sure a lot of you are ahead of me already, that this is going to be looking at Chrome extension numero uno. It's the big one, it's Salesforce Inspector. I couldn't do a talk on this without mentioning Salesforce Inspector, but you'd be surprised how many people just need that first introduction about it. When we're not in the office as much, you don't get that opportunity to look over people's shoulder and see that they're using it. For me, the primary selling point of Salesforce Inspector is to penetrate the page layout and see everything you need. So if we open up the arrow and then go show all data, you can see the field API name, the type, the value that it has there. It's got a search box as well. And then from here, on the right-hand side, that arrow, you can jump directly to that field in the setup menu too. Classic or Lightning, it's your pick. Also, because there's so many features of Salesforce Inspector, I've just realized recently, from this page, you can actually jump directly to the page layout itself. So you don't then have to kind of look at the page layout assignment and say, okay, system admin, and it's this one. It jumps straight there, so it's really useful. We are scratching the surface of Salesforce Inspector here. It can also help you with queries, which I'm not going to go into, and it also has some data load functions too. It's also a quick shortcut to your org limits and kind of the metrics about your Salesforce org. For full details, please do use Search the Force. And it will likely give you a Salesforce Ben article with at least 10 different ways that you can use it. And honestly, once you start looking out for it, you'll see that most people have that little arrow in the corner. So that is a whistle-stop tour of Salesforce Inspector. Happy Friday. More like Friday, am I right? It's not the energy that I can really deliver. I just spent a whole hour looking for a record in the wrong org. How do you tell the difference between Salesforce tabs? So I've seen a lot of people showing your screen, and there are a lot of animals out there with too many tabs open. So what this helps is this helps you identify which org you're in for which tab you're looking at for Google Chrome. It's called Salesforce Colored Favicons. We can forgive the American spelling of colored, and favicons means that little image that you get next to the browser. That's what a favicon means. And it customizes the image for every specific Salesforce URL that you open. It automatically assigns it a different color, which is really handy. So that you can see at the top left, the top two at the left are one org because it's purple. The middle one is like a cyan color, and then it automatically assigns. So I do this thing where I associate a color with a specific org. For example, if you've got customer data, I usually give it cyan or something similar that it sounds the same. I've also suggested if you customize it, you can color coordinate them too. So I've used in the past, the green is for a Salesforce dev environment. I know it's green. I know I can do whatever I like in it. Amber is the QA environment, a little bit more risky. Production, red. You're kind of on high alert. You'll also notice that it's got S's and DX's for DevOrgs too, for sandboxes and DevOrg, because it also identifies the type of org that you're working with. So this is the one that I've probably been celebrating and preaching about for the last year. It's changed the way I work a little bit. I used to do more different things with this, but it's colored favicons. I highly recommend it. That's everything. I've left a little bit of time for questions. As I said, there's a QR code and there's a hyperlink too. The bit.LC23 Lee is case sensitive, but I'll drop it in the chat for this session as well. Thank you, and any questions?
Eden with Salesforce is a game changer, an easy-to-use financial package that provides advanced features that you simply can't get from Xero or QuickBooks. It's based on a simple truth that integrating your finance and CRM systems on Salesforce is efficient. All your data's in one place. There are no integrations. Dashboards deliver your reporting without complicated Excel spreadsheets. Native Salesforce automates the mundane. Implementation is quick in one VAT quarter, and minimal training is required. There are 3 versions: free forever, economy, and business class, which adds more sophisticated features and multi-companies. And it's all backed up with a 12-month, no argument, money-back guarantee. Thank you for listening.